Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Myself Vaibhav. In today's session of Market Movers, we will be taking a look on the Nasdaq, which looks overbought, but still it is not fully in a sell scenario. And I think this consolidation, which has been going on around 10,000 level, is crucial, and we will see what is in store for us. If we consider the trading context for the day, we got the flash inflation numbers in the European station, and here, as expected, we are seeing slight recovery in the inflation rate, but it's not significant. And now, for the month of June, the inflation rate has gone up to 0.3% in terms of year on year compared to 0.1% reading we had in the month of May. So, on that front, there is improvement, but these readings are precariously low, and now again the ECB is embarking on a quantitative easing program, the PEPP, and also the interest rates are likely to stay low as the world is reeling under the coronavirus outbreak. So the situation doesn't look that well poised, and I think the central banks around the world will need to continue with their monetary policy easing, and unless and until there is a uptick in inflation numbers, we are not likely to see any significant rollback of these existing measures. Coming to the North American trading session, we are set to see the testimonies of Fed Chairperson Mr. Jerome Powell and US Treasury Secretary Mr. Steven Mnuchin, and they are set to testify before the House Financial Service Committee. And here, if we take a look on the Mr. Jerome Powell's remarks, which have been prepared, which have been already released. So he is likely to reiterate that the path forward for the economy is kind of uncertain, and it is going to depend on the kind of measures the central bank as well as the United States federal government takes, and he is not really expecting any significant recovery in the economy unless and until people feel confident enough to go out and spend. So, but still, we need to watch out for any policy initiative which might be of high importance. So, stay tuned for the testimony which is going to happen in just under 2 hours from now. Moving on to the technical segment, we will see the prospects for the Nasdaq and the USD JPY. Let's start with the Nasdaq's technical outlook first. This is the daily time frame chart, and here, after rallying from 6,600 to almost 10,300, the Nasdaq has been consolidating with downward bias for last couple of trading sessions, and in yesterday's trading session we saw sharp recovery after making low close to 9,750, and now from those levels the Nasdaq is back up by almost 3 percentage point, and right now it is hovering close to 10,050. So even when I made this slide, it was around 9,950, and from those levels it is now 100 points up. So technically speaking, as I said while starting the webinar, and here I would reiterate that the Nasdaq's underlying momentum is still on the buy side, but as you can notice, we have this significant amount of rally, and this is once in a decade, once in a century phenomena, you can even say, as more than 50% gains have happened just in under 3 months. So from that perspective, as well as this consolidation has been going on for quite a while now. So from longer term perspective, the things are indeed in overbought scenario, but still we will have to be careful while going for a short sale, and we will look out for some levels which can come handy to help us determine which kind of trade setup is likely to be more profitable for us. So here, coming to the 4 hourly chart, we have these central pivot points. First resistance in play around 9,950, and it was breached in the first half of this month. And then we saw these dip, and then again the recovery, and then finally the second hurdle, the second resistance of this month's pivot point series proved too strong to cross, and we saw this retracement happening in the Nasdaq. And as I said in yesterday's session, we saw a low being made close to 9,750, but the recovery was fairly sharp, and now for the day we have seen this Nasdaq hovering in the upper band of these first resistance and second resistance, and it has been consolidating closer to this 10,000 zone. And now here one thing to take note of is that since the gains have become incremental, the regression curve is flattening now, and a lot is going to depend on how the price action plays out in the Nasdaq. So if we are going to find any trading opportunity, I think from short to medium term perspective, we will have to mostly rely on the hourly chart to see if there is any trading opportunity for us. And from that perspective, I feel if we consider this formation, it is still of lower highs and lower lows, and this time around we are indeed seeing some upward momentum in the Nasdaq as the US trading session has begun. But still, unless and until we see a fresh break above this immediate swing high area, we can indeed continue to look for short selling opportunity. So any short sale in the vicinity of the current price, which is there around 10,050 to almost 10,100, should be a good idea. But instead of getting involved straight away right now at the market price, I would suggest that you give it some time and see how things shape up. If we see at least couple of hours of consolidation like this, then it will give us more hope, more reasons to believe that this area around prior swing high is likely to act as a resistance, and that's the reason we should be looking for a short sell opportunity. So here, technically speaking, it is a sell trade from the short term perspective, but considering the magnitude of this rise, I would suggest that we wait out for some more time, maybe like a couple of hours, and even we have the testimonies lined up for the day, which are likely to cast significant price action impact on the underlying instrument, including the Nasdaq. So watch out for that as well. Moving on to the USD JPY's technical outlook. Yesterday we had considered the USD JPY continuing to move higher, and as anticipated, the USD JPY indeed went on to rise towards 108 level, and from there on it has corrected to some extent. But even in today's session, it is holding strong, and I think unless and until it breaks below the 107.50, we can continue to look for the buying opportunity. And as yesterday we had considered, it was a fabulous buying opportunity, and indeed we saw these substantial gains accruing in the US trading session. Now, coming to the today's trading session, we have seen USD JPY staying in the range, and for the today's trading session, the range has been fairly narrow, but still the underlying momentum is now on the long side, and after getting buying support closer to its immediate swing low area around 106, it has rallied substantially, and now the gains are almost in the vicinity of 200 pips, and I feel it can continue to rise. And for that scenario, we have to rely on the 4 hourly chart. And here, as we are approaching the end of the month, here you can notice that the USD JPY has been successful to cross above and maintain above this central pivot point of this month's pivot point series, which is there around 107.3. And as I said, unless and until we have break below these crucial price action areas, we don't really need to be too concerned. I think any minor dip, any correction from the current levels, and then do consolidation would be an welcome opportunity for us. The regression curve has now to some extent flattened, and here if the price action continues to hover in the upper band of this regression curve, then we will have more reasons to believe in the possibility of USD getting back closer to its immediate swing high, which is kind of far away from the current level, but still we can keep an eye on it, and we can indeed anticipate those levels to be reached if the things turn out well, and if the USD JPY is able to hold on above this month's central pivot point. And then in tomorrow's session we will have the fresh plotting of the pivot point series. So in tomorrow's session we will also get the idea of the price action and where it is likely to be headed. So if you consider the lower time frame chart of hourly, the formation is clearly of higher highs and higher lows. That means the bulls are in charge. And if you consider this confluence of prior swing highs as well as the lower band of this upward moving price channel, then we have this zone around 107.3 to 107.4, which is likely to act as a significant support zone for the USD JPY. Suppose if we get fortunate enough and if we see any correction happening in the USD JPY towards the desired zone, then after due consolidation, at least 4 5 hours of consolidation, we can indeed think about going in for a long position. And I think the stop loss below its immediate swing low, which is kind of far away. So if we are getting involved anywhere around 107.3, then I think the stop loss will work out closer to 106.8. That's the stop loss of 50 pips. But in lieu of 50 pips stop loss, we can of course target 100 pips on the higher side. And I am pretty much expecting the USD JPY to cross above 108.5. So that's a fair deal, you can say, as the risk reward ratio is still in our favor. And considering that the stop loss and the target prices are wide, we will have to cut down on the lot size and keep the lot size in check so that we don't have to suffer undue losses in case we happen to be wrong. So that's it from my side for today's session. And if any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write it in the comment section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.